Like I've passed on millions of dollars worth of endorsements, not because I don't think that the money is of value, but I more so think for the next generation and helping athletes kind of understand their value
Hmm.
to a different level.
Hmm.
Right now, we kind of look at this exchange between endorsement, between athletes gets paid an X amount of dollars. They have no creative control, no input, no say so.
Very little percentages on royalties, which a lot of these guys don't talk about. We hear so much about the upfront money. A lot of the athletes, when it comes to their endorsement deals, are in a very similar deal to the rappers in a record label, but they're not collecting any of the back end money when it comes to the streams and the master recordings and publishing.
Over the direction of how they want things to go. They don't own their IPs, nothing of the sort.
Hmm.
And as a players association rep, I get those phone calls when I'm talking to older players and their frustration about how we're working with and dealing with these major corporations, how it's difficult.
Mm.
And I think more people should hear those stories.
Mm.
Because if I was a young player and I heard this veteran that went through what I want to go through, and this person say they might have done something different, that might affect my perspective. So I'm always listening. I'm always thinking about how can I pour into the next generation, because how we started this conversation was with Bill Russell, and playing for this organization and admiring somebody like that. I feel like I have no choice but to walk in their light.
So when you give advice to some of these young cats, telling you some of the things that they're enduring, knowing what you've already been through, what do you tell them?
I tell them to think for themselves. Most importantly, our influence doesn't just get determined by being an athlete or what I say an entertainer. Like, I think our influence goes beyond. Some of these dudes got God-given ability, jumping over cars, running fast as lightning. Like, I think that influence goes beyond just entertainment. And some people may disagree on that, and we're gonna have to disagree to the end. I think we should challenge ourselves, our minds, because we have the potential and the capabilities to be, leaders, not just on the court or on the field or in the music industry, but in society as well.
And him speaking on that leadership and just some of the former athletes not being happy about their sponsorship situations in regards to royalties on certain sneakers or athletic wear. Kobe Bryant, the week that he passed away, he had a meeting that following Monday. He was going to leave Nike. He already had a prototype of his own shoes. He had linked up with some accredited investors out in Silicon Valley, and they had a shoe lined up with technology and everything. The prototype is out there if you guys want to check it out. But his relationship with Nike was over, and we seen it play out shortly after his death because his wife had posted things on social media questioning Nike, and that relationship had soured, and it took a year for them to repair it. But Kobe Bryant was going to introduce a whole paradigm shift for athletes to kind of think differently, and who knows, perhaps view their partnership with these shoe companies as an IP that they can own and they could license to these companies and jump ship if they have to, or just even bring that IP to some venture capitalists out in Silicon Valley and introduce new products with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be shoes or athletic wear. It could be something in the health and fitness department or in health in general, but the sky's the limit.
The ability, the talent is given from God. It's just up to us if we realize it, understand it, and access it. And that's what I like to explain to the younger generation, is that you're not just a basketball player. It's the platform that you might have, but you got people in the community that look up to you, listen to you. Don't listen to the ones that say you should just focus on ball or don't care about nothing or nobody else. Nah, it's okay to stand for your community. It's okay to be a representative of your family, to not just be about the money, the cars, the girls, etc., but also be about building and bridging and creating things for the next generation and creating a legacy rather than just giving back what they just gave to you.
But what about being smart and strategic too? How important is that, and how often do you give them that level of advice?
Oh, that's everything. That's the emphasis of the advice is to have stratagem. Don't go out there aimlessly saying things and doing things that you don't have the capability to back up. If you look at how I've approached things, it's been with nothing but strategy.
Mhm.
You know, how I built my brand, how I've approached the work I do in the community is all about, you know, one, making the world a better place, but two, also being able to be in a position of influence to affect the next gen.
And affecting the next generation is what it's all about. Look at the situation when LeBron making the decision, going to South Beach, being a superstar, to leave his initial franchise. That caused a paradigm shift, and it has affected all the other superstars coming after him. Now guys want to go and do what's best for their career instead of being beholden to that whole I'm loyal to a franchise. Meanwhile, as soon as the franchise doesn't need you anymore, they'll ship you and your family out to a different city, and the fan base pretty much won't even care. So LeBron James has caused that paradigm shift, and best believe that whole loyalty to a franchise really benefited only the owners. That narrative is really not in the players' benefit. And those type of narratives, and there are many of those kinds of narratives. Another one was set kind of by Woj with free agency. Guys better hurry up and get deals by July 10th. Every offseason we would hear this, like teams would really run out of money. But then again, we'll hear from certain agents speaking on how when guys like Woj put these type of deadlines, players who have high values end up taking lesser deals because they want to impress family members and friends with having their name come up on the ticker by a certain deadline. So there are multiple layers of psychological games that ownership is playing with players in regards to their relationship with power and money. And it's on all levels, from the everyday job to the professional athletes making millions of dollars and dealing with billionaire owners.